a download that came to me earlier today, and it was of the Queen Vashti in the Bible. And probably not many people are familiar with that person because she was the queen of the first king of Persia, and I do not know how to pronounce that king's name, but she was his wife, and I don't know how long that she was his wife, but Queen Esther ended up being the queen after her. And what ended up ending this woman from being a queen is that her husband wanted her to put on a crown and flash her beauty in front of men to kind of like tease them, I guess. I believe that's how the story goes. Like, basically he asked her to show up to some kind of ceremony or some kind of gathering where she was going to flaunt herself, and he wanted her to flaunt herself in front of these men who could not have her. I guess maybe his tactic was like an ego thing to basically make these men jealous of him. I guess that was the purpose of that. And she basically told him, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. I'm not going to be flashing myself. I'm not going to be, feeding your ego. I'm not going to disrespect myself in order to do what you want, because it was an ego thing. It was not out of respect for her. It was not, with integrity of his wife. It was just basically like a stroke to the ego. And that download came to me earlier, and I'm sitting here thinking about things that, the reasons people do things, and the payoff that comes with them doing certain things. And I can understand in a way where people would do certain things for money or do certain things to keep a partner, but it's basically manipulation. And not only is it manipulation, it could be manipulation in the sense that somebody is wanting you to be somebody or do something or be something for them, give to them in a certain way in order to get some kind of payoff that they're giving you. And you know that if you speak the truth, if you act within your authenticity, if you act within your truth, that provision or that gain will disappear. Maybe it's a friendship that will disappear, a romantic partnership that will disappear, a monetary gain that will disappear, status that will disappear. And in my opinion, your self-respect and who you are as a person is so much more important than what that person was giving to you. Because anybody who is trying to give to you or trying to get you tied into a situation where they want you to be, it could be in the sense that maybe somebody wants to put you in a third-party situation. Maybe somebody wants to make you a side piece. Maybe somebody wants you to be their bed partner, but they don't want to be a partner. They don't want the responsibilities of giving you a relationship. Maybe, it's a friendship that they want you to do and say certain things, and they don't ever want to hear the truth. They don't want your authenticity. They just want a surface level connection where you kiss their ass, you tell them what they want to hear, you do what they want you to do. And the thing about it is that I've dealt with people like that when I was younger. And not to say that at some point I didn't give in to that kind of energy, because we all do. We all have lessons to learn. We all make mistakes. We all go through our lessons and our karma and everything else. But I can tell you this, my self-respect and my humanity and my authenticity is more important than any gain that anyone could ever give me that would cause me to go against my morals, go against what I believe in, go against my value. I don't care if it was money. I don't care if it's a relationship, some kind of human interaction. I don't care what it is. I've been in a place of isolation. I've been in a place of being completely and utterly alone in the worst times of my life. And I am grateful that I was in that state, and I've been in that state for a very long time, to know that I am very self-sufficient and I do not need people. It might be nice to have people, but I don't necessarily need it, because my survival is not based off of those people. It is not reliant on another person. And I think a lot of people, they have a fear of abandonment. They have different fears and different insecurities that people will come along and easily offer you some kind of manipulation, whether it's to, compromise your morals, compromise your values, compromise your authenticity, compromise in some kind of a way that you're not able to be who you really are, and you can't operate in your truth, and it makes you suppress your truth by being in a relationship with those kinds of people, whether it's friendship, it's family members, it's co-workers, whatever it is not worth it. And I speak from experience. Nobody on this earth is worth compromising who you really are, compromising your morals, compromising your values, compromising to get money, compromising. Life might be harder without that person, and it might be more of a struggle, but at least you can operate in your self-respect, your authenticity. You have yourself to rely on. You may not have other people, but you have yourself. And if you love yourself, you will, even when you fail, you will get right back up and you will be there for yourself. And you will be able to operate within your morals, within your values, within your authenticity, within your self-respect. And you do not need to break any of those vows. It's basically, a lot of people, they break vows with themselves so that they can get some kind of a gain, whether it's monetary gain, whether it's romantic gain, whether it's friendship gain. And really, these people are asking you to compromise yourself in some way, or suppress part of yourself, suppress the truth, suppress your truth, suppress your self-respect, so that you can what? Get some kind of payout that you think is really worth, and it's really not. It's kind of like fool's gold. Someone makes it appear like it's gold, like you gotta have it or you're not gonna survive, or you're gonna be basically in some kind of a horrible state because they're not around. No, the hell you're not. You might struggle a little bit. You might have a hard time for a little while. That person, they were asking you to compromise who you were so that you could get something that really, it was not worth what you gave up to get, if that makes sense. Whatever that person was offering you was not worth giving up what they were asking you to give up. Whatever you were giving up was more valuable by interacting with that person and being with that person, whether it's friendship, business, romantic. And people, they have no conscience, and they will allow you to abandon yourself, disrespect yourself, break vows with yourself, go against your morals, go against your beliefs, go against your authenticity to please them. And what I've learned is, have I gotten scolded for telling the truth? Have I gotten scolded for being authentic? Have I gotten scolded for operating within my morals and values? Absolutely, because there's a lot of low vibrational people who do not understand why I am the way I am, and it's because I'm not going to stoop to a low vibrational level and to operate and live my life because other people think it's popular to do so, because other people think that that's the acceptable way to be. I'm not looking to be accepted. I never have been my entire life, not once. And if I was accepted, it was because I was not operating in my authenticity and people really weren't allowing me to be who I was. They wanted me for the person I pretended to be until I learned to be authentic. It doesn't matter what somebody is offering you. Your self-respect, your authenticity, all of that is so much more valuable than whatever this person is giving you, because that person is making you betray yourself to deal with them. Think about it that way. You are betraying yourself to deal with somebody who cares nothing about your authenticity, nothing about your truth, nothing about your values, nothing about who you really are. They just want you to operate in a specific way with them and sacrifice pieces of yourself to please them. They don't ever want to hear the truth. They don't ever want you to operate in your authenticity. They don't ever want you to be who you really are, because if you did, you'd be a powerful being. And they don't want that. They want you to be a weak yes person. And that is the furthest of what you need to do. And I speak from experience. Yes, you will be persecuted by people who do not understand living in their authenticity, who do not understand living in your truth, who do not understand not betraying yourself and sticking to your morals and values and not betraying yourself. People that are low vibrational, who have been betraying themselves, who don't love themselves, who have not matured, who have not grown up, who have not evolved at all, they will tell you that there's something wrong with you because they want you to betray yourself. They want you to feel lesser value than what you are. They want you to operate in a blinded sense, like you're blinded to your value, so that you keep giving to them and you keep interacting with them in the way that they want you. But it's not who you really are, and it's not authentic, and you're betraying yourself to deal with this person who doesn't have any respect for you, who doesn't care anything about your values, who doesn't care anything about you at the surface. It's about what they're getting from you energetically, monetarily, whatever way that they're getting, and they want you to continue to do that until you die. And you're going to have to learn that whatever payoff that you think you're getting, it's kind of like a drug addict or an alcoholic. They do what they do because it's like an escape, it's a release. Maybe this person has been like your release. Maybe this person you keep around because you really don't know how to operate without them, because you have totally depended on people who are not really there for you, who are really not concerned about your authentic self. But you in your mind have made it up some kind of a story that you must have these people around when they are not going to be there for you. They do not care who you authentically are. There's just a payoff between the two of you that is superficial, and you have chosen not to let that go. I'm not saying everybody is, but I can even admit myself. There have been relationships I had no business being in, people I dealt with that I had no business dealing with, that had a payoff. But it really wasn't a payoff because I was betraying myself. I was accepting less than what I deserved to deal with an idiot, to deal with somebody who did not value me, to deal with people who did not deserve me, and they were not worthy of me. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but there's just some people, they don't have any respect for anybody, and they're just where they're at. Nobody needs to be dealing with them until they've evolved. That's what I'm trying to get at. So whatever payoff that you're getting, that you think you're getting, kind of like how this queen did. Yeah, she was a queen. But was she going to be pranced around and disrespected and, gawked at and treated as if she was a piece of ass to please this king? She had more self-respect for herself. And I respect that, because she lost being a queen, but really she was a queen even though he took her crown away. She was still queen because she had enough dignity to walk away from a fool who didn't respect her. And that's what other people need to start doing, is walking away from fools who don't have any respect for them, who don't have any intention of doing them any good, who really, they just want you to interact with them in a specific way. They are okay with you showing pieces of yourself, but they're not going to allow you to be all of who you are. They're not going to allow you to reveal everything. And if you did, they would walk away. So why do you deal with these people? It is a temporary payoff, just like a drug. You take a hit and then you got to go back again. And you're really not getting a payout because it's not fulfilling you. And this person is making you suppress certain parts of yourself, making you be something other than what you are to deal with that person. And that is not a person I would want to deal with. If I cannot be 110% who I am, and it doesn't mean that somebody has to like every part of me, but I got to be able to be all of me. And if they can't handle that, they don't need to be up in here. But there's so many people that are so scared of what everybody's going to think about them. They're so scared of losing people. Why are you scared of losing people who aren't scared of losing you? They will just go find somebody else who's robotic to get from. And they will find somebody else who they can manipulate into being what they want them to be. They're not interested in anybody's truth, their authenticity, their values, their morals. They're just interested in who they can manipulate into being their minion, being whoever it is that they want them to be, so that they can take from them. So you're really not losing shit, because they ain't shit. Not that kind of a person. They're not. That kind of a person, they will make you suppress yourself. They will make you be something other than what you are. They will make you accept terms that are against what you really believe. And they are no good to anyone. Not to say someone can't change, but if that's the way they're going to operate from here on out until they leave this world, they ain't worth dealing with. So I would much rather be 110% by myself than to be with somebody that I have to suppress myself, that I have to compromise what I really want as far as what I believe in relationships should be, to deal with somebody who cares nothing about anyone but their self. That's a selfish human being to do that to another human being. So I would say a lot of people just need to quit worrying about what other people think and to take the harder road that you may have to be by yourself for a little while until you can find some authentic people. But it is not an impossible task to live within your authenticity and be happy. You would be much more miserable by suppressing who you are to please people who care nothing about you at your core.